do with Google Forms is if you put in the time, you can design a test or a survey that branches based on answers. So you've probably all been in the situation where you answered a question and then the survey or the test went on to answer you a whole lot of irrelevant questions, didn't apply to you based on the first question you answered, and that's really annoying. With a little planning, you can avoid that with Google Forms. So how you're going to do it is you're going to sit down and plot it out on a piece of paper. You are going to want to plot it out and think through it pretty well. So I'm going to show you an example. So this says, this question will put respondents into a yes or no bracket. Is your answer yes or no? So I'm going to click yes, and then next. Why did you answer yes? And then there's an answer, and I could submit. If I answer no and click next, why did you answer no? I don't know because I wanted to, it seemed like, and then submit. And you can continue to do that. You can branch in any number of ways. It can get complicated though, so you really have to think it through, and you have to test it when you're done with it because you got to make sure you set it up right. I want to show you how you do that. So you're going to start a Google form, and you're going to have your question. So I'm going to do a new Google form. And you do this with sections. So here's my question where I'm going to have yes or no branch me off. And I'm going to add a section now, and I'm going to add a second section. So I have 3 sections now. In my original question, I'm going to come on down and I am going to click the 3 dots, and I'm going to allow go to section based on answer. And then I can tell it, if they answer yes, go to section 1. If they answer no, go to section 2. So I come down here. Whoops, I'm sorry. I want to say section 2 and section 3. I'm very sorry because this is now section 1. So here's section 2, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add a question. Why did you answer yes? And I'm gonna, I don't like this where it's automatically picking a type for me. I am going to turn on my required button. Don't forget your required button, otherwise they can skip questions. And here's the important part. When they finish section 2, I don't want them to go on to section 3, where I'm going to ask questions of those who said no. I'm going to go to submit form, or in a minute I'll show you how I can add another section. So let's add a question in section 3. Whoops, I did the wrong thing. Let's add a question in section 3. Why did you answer no? I don't want it to be a paragraph. I want it to be a multiple choice. Because, shrug. And I'm going to go to section 4. And from 2, I'm going to go to section 4. And then you could ask another question that would branch again. You can have all kinds of branching. Or you could go, you want everybody's, you guys, I added a section again. Instead of a question, I want to add a question in section 4. What is your email address? And I'm going to validate that by requiring an email address, which is another video how you do that. I'm going to require that. And so now you see, after section 1, I continue to the next section, unless I have go to section based on answer enabled. Then they're going to go to 2 if they said yes, and they're going to go to 3 if they said no, and then they're all going to go to the email address. Let's test it. So yes, next. Why did you answer yes? Next. Email address. Let's go back and test branching the other way. No, next. Why did you answer no? Shrug, next. Email address. So that's a very quick overview of how to create conditionally formatted forms. As you play with them, you'll get frustrated and you'll forget to set the sections, so always test them. Good luck!